joining me today. It's Brian Gubernick, and welcome to the No Days Off podcast, where we believe that every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, something that may serve as inspiration for you today. I'm not quite sure. I just know that right now I am running an awful lot in preparation for some different races I have coming up. And there's certain things that go through my head over and over and over again. And today's topic happens to be one of those. Not too long ago, I heard someone say, greatness takes greatness. Greatness takes greatness. And I'll be honest, when I first heard that, I wasn't so sure that it was some, deep truth or if it's just some weird wordplay. There's a lot of quotes out there that they're said and you're like, that's good. But then when you really think about it, you're like, that just sounds like some weird, way to catch attention. But the more I thought about this one, greatness takes greatness, the more it started to stick with me. And here's where I landed. In order to achieve greatness, you have to give greatness. In other words, you don't get extraordinary results from ordinary input. Let me say that one more time. You don't get extraordinary results from ordinary input. If you want to do something great, and I'm certain you want to do something great, you wouldn't be plugging into the No Days Off podcast each and every day if you didn't. But if you want to do something great, then you better bring something great to the table. You better bring great effort, or great habits, or great standards, or a great reputation, or a great circle, or just great attitude. Because greatness won't meet you halfway if you're only giving average. I think there's a few different ways to interpret this, right? I mentioned greatness requires great inputs. It's not enough to want greatness. You have to match it with your energy. And you have to match it with your execution. You want a great relationship? You can't bring lazy communication and minimal effort to the table. You want a great business? You can't show up and expect the market to just reward you. You want a great body? You can't out-hack poor sleep. You can't out-hack stress and bad nutrition. Greatness demands an equal exchange. I think greatness attracts greatness. Maybe another way to look at this, if you want to be great, put yourself around greatness. Your circle matters. We talk about that quite a bit here. Who you surround yourself with matters. Their ambition, their mindset, their discipline, it rubs off on you. Iron sharpens iron. Average environments will pull you towards comfort. Great environments, however, will pull you toward your potential. So, in my opinion, greatness, it takes greatness from you and around you. I think there's a lot of great examples of how this concept, this greatness takes greatness, plays out in the real world. I can't help but think about Kobe Bryant and his 4 a.m. rule. Let's talk about Kobe real quick. Everyone knew that Kobe was talented. Everyone knows he was talented. But talent alone is not what made Kobe Bryant Kobe Bryant. It was the hours, the unseen hours, the mindset, the obsession. The guy was in the gym at 4 a.m. every day, not to prove anything to others, but to make sure he was outworking everyone. That's why he was at the gym at 4 a.m. It wasn't to prove anything to anybody. He just wanted to make sure he was outworking everyone. There's a great story I heard where a fellow NBA player tried to get to the gym early to impress Kobe, only to find Kobe was already an hour into his workout, drenched in sweat. And Kobe kept going after that guy who showed up, left. Why? Because greatness takes greatness. He knew that talent wasn't enough. The margin of greatness is forged in the private reps that nobody else sees. I think about Sarah Blakely, who created Spanx and is a billionaire as a result. She didn't inherit a fashion company. She had $5,000 or so in savings. She had no experience. She had no business building the company that she did. She had a lot of doors slammed in her face, but she wrote her own patent. and she cold called, all of these hosiery mills and all of these others in the business space that she wanted to be in. And she faxed Neiman Marcus until she finally got a meeting. And then she suddenly got that meeting. What did she do? She took the buyer into the bathroom to show the buyer, not tell the buyer, to show the buyer what her product could do. She became the youngest self-made female billionaire in America. That wasn't by luck. That was by tenacity. That was by creativity and grit and boldness. That's what greatness takes. I've been running an awful lot. I talk about it here at No Days Off. I'm into this ultra running stuff now, and there's a mindset as it pertains to ultra running. When I think about endurance sports just in general, ultra running, Ironman races, multi-day events, people see the finish line photos and the medals and the accomplishment, and that stuff's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But what they don't see are the 4-hour training runs in the heat, or these super early mornings because you got to get it in, or the injuries that are constantly nagging, or the miles that you log way after your legs are already too tired to be logging them, or the missed happy hours, or the foam rolling sessions at 10 p.m. In order to run long distances, train long distances, bike, swim, whatever it may be, that doesn't take average. In my opinion, if you want to flourish in that space, it takes a tremendous amount of great discipline and great focus and great recovery and great patience and great sacrifice. Greatness takes greatness on every level. We often expect greatness. Without being honest about what we're bringing to the table. I think that's the part of the quote that really hits you in the gut. We expect greatness, but we're oftentimes not honest with ourselves about what we're going to be bringing to the table in order to get that greatness. We want a 6-figure income or $1 million income, but we're putting in a 50K effort. We want deep, meaningful relationships, but we're surface level with our energy. We want elite health, but we skip workouts, make excuses, make poor food choices. We want to lead others at a high level, but we don't actually invest in becoming better leaders. There's a gap, and a gap between what you expect and what you give. That's where you lose. The gap between what you expect and what you give, that's where you lose. That's where the frustration lives. That's where burnout happens. That's where resentment brews. So how do you close this gap? I would ask yourself a really powerful question today. Am I matching what I want with what I'm willing to give? I want you to ask yourself that. Write it up on the whiteboard, journal around it, go for a walk and just think about it. Am I matching what I want with what I'm willing to give? That's it. Because if you want to reach that next level in business, in relationships, in fitness, in life, it's not going to happen by accident. It actually happens by design, by matching the level of input to the level of output that you expect. So yeah, greatness does take greatness. It's not just a catchy phrase. It's a challenge. It's a mirror. It's a reminder that results are rented and the rent is due every single day. So don't ask for greatness if you're not ready to give it, because it won't come cheap. But I think we'd all agree it's probably worth the price. That's all I have for you today, the No Days Off podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. So let's get after it.